Hi, True Crew. How you doing? Welcome back to another episode. Thank you for tuning in. Coming at you today with a quick video on things to remember as a small business owner or a possible small business owner in the future. I made this video last time and then I was getting comments that it wasn't loud enough. I was at a friend's house when I did that video. Now I'm back at my house. So, some things to think about. This is what I brought up in this video. First of all, I wanted to start off with, I had two stories, but I can only remember one right now. But one story was during the crash of 2007, 8, 9-ish, whatever that was. I guess they said there was some company more towards the East Coast, and they said everybody in that company took a pay cut from the top dog, the owner, all the way down, and they were one of the only companies, if not the only company in the entire United States that didn't lay off one employee during this time frame, right? So that's pretty incredible, right? And that's because they had just built such a strong family environment within that business that everybody was willing to take those pay cuts. Now, of course, I would assume the top dog probably took more of a pay cut than the person below him, person below him, person below him. But the thing is, as a collective, they decided that that's what was best, right? Because in reality, it's best to take a $10,000, $15,000 pay cut, whatever it was, $5,000 pay cut, to see your coworker at least have a job, right? Because in reality, they were probably going to be making more than they ever would have on unemployment. So as a unit, they sacrificed, and that's a beautiful thing. So from there, I just want to, why are you even considering starting your own business, right? Once again, I'm not here to bash small business owners or whatever your decisions are within your own business, because hopefully I'll be there shortly. It just takes time, right? But one thing to think about is when we get into that, or even your daily complaint at work, if you have you just have a regular 9 to 5 they don't give a crap about us, right? The owners don't give a crap. They pay us garbage. We can barely get by, whatever. Now you start researching into whatever business you want to open, and now all of a sudden it's like, well, I want to make my own hours. I want to work for myself. I want to be paid well, whatever else you can come up with. The thing we've got to understand, or the thing we need to think about, is as we venture into creating our own company and growing, right, you have that ability now to hire people and give them the opportunity to make a living for their family. But the thing we've got to remember is don't become the employer that you hated before, right? That paid not as great of wages, didn't treat their employees, you as an employee, as great as you wanted to be treated. Those are the things I think once we reach that level, we forget, right? So in reality, are you paying your employees a fair wage? That's something you've got to discuss. I can't do that, but you need to truly look deep down within yourself and say, am I? Or am I shortchanging them? Because I've worked for previous companies where it's like, oh, I can't afford that. And then a year later, within a year, 2 years later, they're giving people $5 raises. And it's like, dang, I was just asking for $1. Holy crap. You know what I mean? And maybe the company, in my opinion, the company wasn't growing anymore because I was there. It was only like a 2-crew company or whatever. But that's what happened. And in reality, it comes down to evaluating your employees. You don't want to be empowering an employee that's already making bad decisions, giving him more money, and then he's just creating more bad decisions. I understand that. But if he's a hard worker, about to start a family, all these other things, can you truly afford to give him that raise that he probably deserves? I don't know. But once again, it's just making sure that you don't become that person that before you started your own company, you were just bad-mouthing the whole time. You need to make sure that you're not being hypocritical in that sense. And sometimes that means you might have to take that little bit of a pay cut, or it might dig into a little bit of the profit. But in reality, is it truly what's best for your company? Because in reality, that's what it comes down to. I heard that Simon Sinek, I think his name is. I made a couple videos on it. I might make a video on it, an additional video with what I'm about to say now. But I thought he brought up an interesting point, right? Because we all invest in our future, right? We got 401ks, Roth IRAs, this and that. And it's funny how whenever they do something, they're always doing something for the shareholder, right? And I thought that was funny because he said you never see an NBA team, an NFL team, a major league team, hiring players or making decisions based on, I think this is what the fans will like, right? Well, no, it's what's best for the team. So how come when it comes to investing, that's why you see massive layoffs and all these things. First of all, it's I don't want to take the pay cut as the CEO making $20 million a year and the shareholders need to do something. So I'd rather fire 150 people versus me take $1 million less, that's just not right. You know what I mean? And that's why hopefully you as a business owner will not see that. It's strange that we do that because in reality here in Colorado, if it was up to the fans, we would still have Tebow to this day. At least if he was winning, right? But people wanted to give Tebow a chance. Instead, we got Peyton. We got that championship and everything. But it's like I told one of my best friends. I said the reason why they got rid of Tebow is because they weren't going to have a future Hall of Famer get booed or the crowd chanting Tebow, 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 Tebow. Well, you've got one of the greatest NFL quarterbacks ever on your team. But now I'm on a sidetrack. But once again, it's just think and understand what decisions that you can make to truly improve the lives of your employees that deserve it. And don't be that boss that you once hated. And that's the difficult things in life. Making smart choices to make sure your life is improved, but also making smart choices to where you're going to be able to help others around you. And sometimes that means you might not be making a profit. Sometimes that means you're just kind of stagnant for a year or two before that next bump happens and, things go your way. But once again, it's you bring goodness and love and those types of things into the world, it's only going to, magnify itself on that back end. So once again, I hope this helps. Hopes it's food for thought. Don't forget to follow on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Google+. The podcast is out there. All those links are down below. Subscribe to this channel. Share and like these videos.